left one is like thriving. I mean, this might not be everybody's cup of tea. What? That's not even a thing. It'll help that my makeup is actually done. Oh, no, that's not the shade. It's been so long, I don't even know how to start this off. All right, let's just get into it. So today's the day I decided to just get back on the horse and, you know, start working again, creating lovely content that I know you guys all love to see. I have done some shopping on my off time and I picked up a couple of different products, but today I think I want to kind of figure out a routine that I can do that's easy and quick. I mean, I feel like my everyday routine is pretty like quick and simple, but I want to come up with something where I don't necessarily have to use foundation. So that's the goal for today. I will share with you guys what I picked up. I'm gonna clip my hair out the way first, and then I'll share those products with you guys. Fun fact, well, fun fact if you care, but Roxy's literally behind me in the chair, so she's in here. Today is pretty rainy outside. No storming though, like thunder, stuff like that, which is great because if that was the case, I would not be able to sit down and film. So she's calm, she's in the back. I am going to use some of this ABH, what is this called? Clear Brow Gel for my brows. By the way, I did laminate my brows and I have to say it's not, I don't know what it really did for my brows other than kind of like perm them a little bit. It was an actual like brow kit or whatever that I did use. It did a little something, but I feel like the first time I ever did my brows myself, like laminate them during quarantine, was a lot better just because I feel like my brows were a lot fuller. I feel like my right brow is struggling and my left one is like thriving. So the left side is like ideal for me in terms of what I would like to see within my brows, but we all know that brows are not twins, they're sisters. Although I've been gone a little bit from YouTube, I have done a little bit of shopping at Sephora specifically, and I did do like a little mini haul. I had it in the back of my mind that I wanted to do something like this, so I'm going to share with you guys some of the products that we may use. I want to say we're going to definitely use at least 2 out of the 4. So the first thing I picked up was this brow pencil from REFY. So we have this. This intrigued me because it was very, very thin, like the pencil itself, and I love a really thin like brow pencil because it just helps me be a little bit more precise with my brows. I also picked up the Makeup by Mario. This is the Moisture Glow Plumping Lip Serum. So I can't wait to try that. There's also a gloss that he has that I totally spaced out and forgot about. So I wasn't even paying attention enough to even pick it up. So I plan on definitely getting that sometime soon. The Sephora sale's coming. So then I have the NARS liquid blush. I've tried no liquid blushes from NARS. I've been obsessed with liquid blushes and liquid or cream bronzers / contour. So I wanted to give this a try. I do have it in Orgasm, which is like the only shade they have in store as far as I've seen. And then I also picked up the MAC Mineralized Skin Finish Natural in the shade Medium Tan. So we're going to give this a try. This is basically going to replace the foundation in today's video, hopefully. So let's see how this goes. Okay, I'm going to start with my brows, of course. I always love to do the brows before I do anything else on my face. Actually, should I prime first? Probably so. I'm going to go ahead and use the MAC Hyper Real Serumizer Skin Balancing Hydration Serum. Okay, that was a pretty long name, but I've used this before. Just going to take a little bit of this and put it on my face. It's been a couple of hours since I've done skincare, so this is not only going to be our primer for today, but it's also a little bit of skincare because the facts are it is skincare and that's what we're going to use. Whoa, not in the hair. So I currently have like a breakout, if you will, here. It's like deep into the skin. I definitely tried to squeeze it, which is why it's red and irritated. I had a pimple patch on it last night and a lot came up, but a lot more still needs to come up because it's still tender to the touch. So I am going to just use a little bit of color corrector. This is just from Pixie, and I'm going to pop this on there so I don't forget. I mean, I don't see how I could possibly forget when it's like right there in my face. But I'm going to put a little bit of this on and just try to cover up some dark spots on my face. For the most part, my skin is kind of like coming back to life, which is great. Love that for me. Just needs a little bit more time and then we'll be right where I need it to be. But it was freaking out this past week and a half or so, just because I've been under a little bit of stress, okay? But we're good now, so that's all that matters. And just taking my sponge, this is damp, and just lightly tapping around it, because we're not doing any heavy foundation. I can still kind of see the scarring a little bit, so maybe we'll use a little bit of concealer, but that's all I'm going to do for now. And then we're going to get back to the brows. So I love to use the NARS Soft Matte. This is this the Soft Matte? Yes, it is. Soft Matte Complete Concealer in Sucre de Orge is what I'm using now. I used to use Biscuit all the time, and yeah, you guys know the story behind this. I'm sure you guys know the story. So I'm going to get my little mirror because I like to know what I'm doing and actually see what I'm doing when I'm doing my brows. Take the pencil. So again, this is the REFY pencil. You guys see how thin and just slim it is? Love that. This is in the shade medium. I don't know if I said that part. Just, this is like, if I had a pen, like an actual pen that was this thin, I would absolutely love it. I love the thinness of it. And so I guess I don't need to really twist it up too much. Let's go ahead and start our brows. I know this can be pretty boring. Oh wow, the thinness of this, I absolutely love it. I just feel like it's just so thin to where like the hairline strokes would be amazing with this, just based off of how thin it is. I do have like a little bald spot in this area, so I'm gonna fill that in, and then I'm just gonna flick upwards. Typically, I like to outline like this part of my brow. I don't want it to be super done up because this is more of like a lightweight, effortless kind of look that we're kind of trying to go for. Will it turn out that way? Well, only time will tell, but that's the idea of it all. So I don't want to do too much when it comes to the brows, because if I do them up a little too much, then it might look a little weird. But for some reason, this tail end of my brow on this side is almost non-existent, and I don't know why. So just a little something like this. Alright, so this is my wild brow, and this one's a little bit more tamed, but I'm not mad about it. I do like the way I can kind of see now doing my brows now versus doing them before I did the whole like lamination. I don't know if I told you guys that, but I did laminate my brows. So doing that, I can kind of see the difference when I actually fill in my brows. It's a little different. It hits different for sure. So I'm going to grab the concealer and take this eyeshadow brush, and I'm just going to clean up underneath because that's important to me. Still want a nice clean brow area. And I'm also going to take this on my lid as well. I am going to put probably like some bronzer on my lid as eyeshadow, just to keep things super simple. But even if you wanted to do like a actual eyeshadow look with an eyeshadow palette, your lids are already primed. Or at least that's how I look at it. Alright, so I am going to just put the mirror down, or at least move it out of your guys' way. And I'm going to take my sponge. I do have another mirror here, obviously, that you guys can probably see in camera, but listen, I don't have much space to work with, so you guys are going to have to work with me. and I'm just tapping it on the lid just to make sure that the concealer I placed there is all tapped into the skin. Looks good. Brows look good to me. I mean, this may not be everybody's cup of tea, the way that my brows are looking right now, but I'm not mad about it, honestly, and I will kind of correct them and perfect them as we get more into the overall look. So next I want to use some concealer. So aside from the powder, the concealer is like the only, well, I won't say the only liquid product, because I'm actually thinking to use cream bronzer, but let's just take our concealer. So I'm using the e.l.f. Camo Concealer. This is the matte one, or the original one, not matte, I'm sorry, this is the original, which is essentially the matte version. Either way. Tan Sand, sorry. Tan Sand is the shade, and I am going to press it underneath my eyes. I don't want to put too much, but I want to put enough since I'm not going to be using any foundation. Going on the bridge of my nose, of course, and on my chin area. I'm going to use my fingers and just see how I like that. Just kind of tap it in as if you would your eye cream or anything like that. So this is a little weird, not gonna lie, but I could absolutely do it like this. With this, you do have to move a little quickly though, because I'm not gonna do it like that. I put too much product to use my fingers. I'm gonna use my sponge. But what was I saying? Oh, you have to work quickly with this because it is more of like a mattifying concealer and it dries pretty quickly. So just gonna tap away. Just cover this up. I pulled out the Wet n Wild powder, translucent powder, and I pulled this out, number one, because I love this powder. I do. It's just very fine and it makes your pores look so good. My pores could use the help, let's be real. I'm just gonna tap my sponge into this. Then I'm gonna tap it onto the skin. But yeah, my love for this powder goes a long way. I don't typically use loose powders too much anymore, but I wanted to use this one today just because I know it, first and foremost, it just makes your skin look so soft and poreless, and I could use that. So, and it's affordable, so why not? Just everything just looks so nice. I mean, I get it. We still got some skin we got to take care of, which reminds me, I should have went in with my cream bronzer, but it's okay because the places that I'm putting this powder, I'm clearly not gonna put cream powder. Cream powder? What? That's not even a thing. Or is it? It might be. But anyways, the bronzer, guys, the bronzer. Bronzer, I'm using this one from NARS. This is in Laguna number 2. And this is just their bronzing cream. So we're going to put this on. I've just been really liking this bronzing cream. And we're going to give our skin a little bit of color back. Just warm up the cheeks a little bit. Okay, I do not like the way I went with that over here on this side. Hopefully we can fix that, because I am not loving that. I put a little too much. Use this side of the sponge. Just try to dilute it a little bit. Boom, see there? Okay, that works. Just went a little too high. Meant to take it a little low. But yeah, just a little bit of this, not too much, just enough, you know, just to give us some color back. I do need a little bit of a nose contour, just taking some right here to define this part of, you know, my nose and my brow. Right in here, just in this hollow space. And this is the concealer brush from Morphe. Yeah, Morphe, that concealer brush that I used. It works for a nose contour too. And then taking the sponge again, just tapping this in because I don't want it to be like super prevalent, you know? And just a little 1-2 moment for the nose, and then I'm also going to take this underneath my lip. Don't really know what this does, but does something. It creates like a little shadow. Makes your lip look a little bigger than it actually is. Okay, I'm not mad about the way this is coming together, honestly. So now we're going to go into the MAC mineralized skin finish. Again, I got medium tan. Funny story, when I went in there to get this, I was like trying to figure out what shade was best for me. This is the one I gravitated towards, and then I had the lady who was working for MAC help me. Oh, very powdery. And lo and behold, we settled on the one I picked up first. So I'm just gonna press this on my face. This is not meant to be like super full coverage or anything. This is literally just like a powder, but it's like a really nice finish to it, which I absolutely enjoy. Loving the way it's looking. I think I did good with my match. And just brushing it everywhere. The brush that I'm using is not the ideal brush I would want to use, but I didn't want to use anything super dense either. So just a little bit more dense than this I would like, but it's okay. I'm going to press it on top of the cream bronzer as well, and on the forehead area to set that cream bronzer up there. It looks so nice, you know? It looks like I actually applied foundation, and really I didn't. I only used concealer and the rest are powders, well, with the exception of the cream bronzer. But whether it was cream bronzer or powder bronzer, I feel like it's not really a big difference between the two, so just personal preference. So I said I was going to put a little bit of bronzer in the crease as like my shadow, so I'm going to use this one from ABH, the Saddle. I love this. I love this shade, just the depth of color. I love this. I love this a lot. If only I could learn to buy cream products within this kind of shade, that would be great. Essence, talking to myself here, because yeah. Anyway, we're going to use this in the lid space. I'm going to grab a fluffy brush. I guess I'll use this one from Morphe. Maybe not. Maybe I'll use, I'm still going to use a Morphe brush because, let's be real, that's the majority of my brushes. So, use this and just kind of fluff this everywhere, just on the whole entire lid. And this is basically our shadow for today. So I took a little bit of the Fenty bronzer that I have and I applied it on the lid, but I want to take some on the lower lash line. So I mixed at the top the ABH and the Fenty, and then at the bottom I'm just going to put this because I like the warmth of this bronzer, and I didn't want such a cool tone like lid area. Lid area? Girl, it's an eyeshadow look. Yeah, I know what I meant. That's what I did. So now that I have that done, I need to work on my lashes. I don't know what I am going to do in terms of like, do I just throw falsies on or do I do my little DIY extensions? I don't know what I'm feeling, honestly. I might just throw on a pair of like lashes, strip lash, the regular way, you know, for the sake of the video. Because I don't know if I said I'm not going anywhere. I do want to get some other content out the way today as well. So it'll help that my makeup is actually done. But yeah, I could just throw on mascara too. Whatever your preference is though, I'm going to figure out my lash situation. Figure out my lash situation. And then I'll be right back. Now that my lashes are on, we're going to put some cream blush on. So I did decide I want to use this one. So again, this is Orgasm from NARS. Their liquid blush. I probably have to pump this a couple of times just because it's new. Ooh, Look at that. Pretty. It's a pretty pink. That's why I want to use it, honestly. What brush will we use? Let's just use this one. So I'm going to dip it into the product. Ooh, that's pretty. It kind of reminds me a little bit of Happy. Just looking at it. Let's see. And then I'm going to pop some on. Ooh, that's pink. She's definitely pink. I like her though. Diffuse her just a little bit. I don't want like a whole bunch of blush. Just a little bit. Although this does not look like a little bit. I'm going to use my sponge. Tap on top. Because with the sponge I just feel like it'll pick up the excess product versus the brush. It's not going to pick anything up at all. You can diffuse it better with this. Also my lashes. Listen, I did the strip lash. I don't have anything really like natural in my drawer outside of like doing my lashes myself, but I didn't feel like doing all that. I mean, it's not difficult to do, but this was just the easier option in my opinion. Okay, I feel like there's a very like defined, I don't like that. We gotta fix that. This is a problem. I'm gonna use my Sephora palette because this has what I feel is the most like natural highlight. I just thought about the fact that e.l.f. apparently has cream contour and blush and I think highlighter as well, like Charlotte Tilbury vibes, or even who else has the tube like formula situation. There's another brand, I just can't think at the top of my head, but I really want to give those a try. Let me know if you plan on trying those. From my knowledge, it's not out yet, but it just might be. I don't know. Gotta check. Take this down. I think I do want to set with, what is it? The matte setting spray, but I did not pull it out. It's actually in my drawer. I'm going to have to grab that. I do have the One Size lip pencil in Lip Snatcher. Oh, no, that's not the shade. It's the One Size Lip Snatcher Precise Lip Filler Pencil in Rent Dew. So I have like this brown shade. But I got this from Makeup by Mario in Nude Glow. So I may use the pencil to like line the lips. I really want to see. Ooh. Okay, there we go. Let's see. If we just... Alright you guys, we are done. I'm loving the way that it came out, honestly. First and foremost, I kind of just want to run through the products that were new, if you will, that I recently picked up and how I feel about them. So first, starting with this REFY brow pencil. Love this. This is probably the best pencil I've used, and I feel that way because it is so thin. Honestly, actually, it reminds me a lot of the ColourPop, which I do have right here. It just might be a little bit thinner than this one. And just quick story on this, I bought this new recently, or not too long ago. I used it once and now I can't use it again because I don't know if I just got a product that just didn't have anything, but no matter how much I twist it up, it ain't going. So I was a little mad about that. Don't ask me why it's still sitting in my drawer, but I guess because of the spoolie. Anyway, love this, love this, love this. It's so small, tiny, micro, and precise that I feel like it gives you that more realistic like brow hair, if you will, versus using something that's a little bit thicker. So that's what I love the most about this, but I think this is going to be my new go-to brow pencil for sure. Also the blush, I did enjoy using the blush. I love the color, of course. I've been into like the pink blush, especially now that it's springtime. Oh, pink blush is definitely going to be a thing, but I also want to incorporate some other like light summery spring colors like orange, peach, stuff like that. But I do love the blush. I like the way that it goes on. No different from any other cream blush, honestly, but it's beautiful. So I'm not mad about it. I'm happy that I picked it up. I love NARS, and I could not get it. You know what I mean? I will say, I do feel like I went a little overboard with the blush today, but in future, we can always tweak things and make them better. So, hindsight, 2020, remember. So, less is more when it comes to the blush. Now, the MAC Mineralized Skin Finish, which was our foundation, if you will, for today. Love this. I love the finish of it. You know, come to think about it, I have the, what's it called again? Mineralized Skin Finish. I have this, and I have it in Give Me Sun, and I used it for bronzer. At least I used to. It broke. Anyway, didn't realize it was kind of the same thing, just a darker shade. But this is my perfect match, medium tan. I'll have it down in the description down below for you guys, just in case any of you are my shade twins. And I'll continue using this. Honestly, I do like this, using this powder. It's just a nice natural finish. Even if I were to use foundation, I would still set with this powder. I feel like this is the perfect face powder for me to set with. Anybody that's been on my channel since the beginning days, the beginning of time, I've always stressed that I've never been a MAC girl. I'm still not a MAC girl, but I am getting more into their products and what they have to offer. So, love this. And then the last thing I want to touch on is the gloss from Mario. So this is the Moisture Glow Plumping Lip Serum. So it doesn't even claim to be a lipstick, although it gives lipstick vibes based off of the packaging and stuff. So when you do twist it up and you use it on your lips, it is gonna kind of like turn into more of like a glossy formula, which is nice, but it is a little messy. Let's just be real. It was a little bit of spillage outside of the tube itself, but I get the concept. It just can get a little messy, I feel. And especially in like warmer weather, or you're outside, or you have it in your purse, just be aware of that, because I just see it going left quick. But I do love the formula. I like the way it feels on the lips. It's a nice, you know, like plumping, cooling, minty kind of feeling, if you will, but it's not super intense. Anyone that's ever tried the Too Faced lip plumping gloss, and even the regular intense whatever, knows that is just, whew, that burns my lips. I just can't do it. This is a little bit different. You still have that, again, mentholy, kind of like minty feeling on your lips, like going like this. I can feel like the coolness, but it's beautiful and I like it. It's not irritating. It doesn't bother me. It's just perfection. So just a couple of little tidbits with this, but I still love it overall. I do want to try the actual gloss and see which one I like, you know, more, but when we get there, you guys will know. Overall, I enjoyed today's little process of figuring things out. Of course, again, hindsight is 2020, and I can do a couple of things a little bit differently, but overall, I think it turned out pretty good, if I say so myself. So let me know your thoughts down below. Also keep in mind that the Sephora sale is coming up very, very soon. I think in a matter of days, actually. When I post this video, it'll probably be even closer. So, well, not probably, it will be closer. So make sure you guys look out for that. Check your status with Sephora if you have a membership, and see where you fall. See what dates you need to lock into your calendar, especially if you're interested in picking up any of the things that I talked about today. Let me know down below what you plan on picking up. Maybe I will, you know, pick up a thing or two based off of your guys' recommendation. Who knows? But I do have a list. I have a list already. I love you guys. Thank you for hanging out with me. I won't talk your ears off too much. I'm going to let you guys go, and hopefully I'll see each and every one of you in my next video. Bye, guys.